Amidst COVID-19 and a divisive era, I wanted to share this story called Isang Bagsak as Verb. Isang Bagsak as Verb, translated into Tagalog, unity as verb, unity as action across lines of difference, across lines of passion. It all started with our ancestors, Larry Itliong, Philip Vera Cruz, Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, and a legacy of Mexican and Filipino farm workers who fought for a piece of our crop and broke bread, although language served as a wall instead. But immigrant resilience be butterfly at a chrysalis with no bounds and with one sound of Isang Bagsak, meaning one clap, one fall, one voice. Latinos and Asians crafted a creation myth of cross coalition that ending noise out of a void, speaking volumes for, by, and with la cultura. Isang Bagsak as Verb is needed more than ever today during COVID-19 at the throats of failed leadership, parched of empathy yet drunk off of misinformation, drunk off of ignorance turned vitriol. Coronavirus doesn't metastasize, but bullying, hate, and violence do, because systems are violent. Because systems are violent upon people become violent, and this violence is spreading like a wildfire. For Asians and Asian Americans across the world, from LA to New York City to Houston to Miami to Sydney, and globally, a pandemic within a pandemic, and not enough people know, care, or know how to care. Because it's not their house is on fire, but we need you to feel the embers and the burns. Like that burn of when you walk into a classroom to coach your teachers, but the kids yell at you and say, "Hey, mister, are you Chinese? Do you eat the corona type bat?" Or the burn of when you see a 68-year-old Asian man get bullied and robbed and attacked in San Fran. Or the burn of when you hear about a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old getting stabbed at a Sam's Club. Or the burn of Andrew Yang telling us that we need to show our Americanness more. Or the burn of the president writing the Wuhan Chinese virus to stoke his base. Or the burn of when AAPI hate is rising in the thousands every single month, and it burns us twice when we are getting burnt and no one even bothers to offer us any water. So we need you to lean into your shared humanity as your alchemy, lean into Isang Bagsak as verbs, so little fires everywhere don't return. So I need you to Isang Bagsak across Asian groups. I need you to Isang Bagsak across racial groups. I need you to Isang Bagsak at your next family Zoom call, as if one clap, one fall, echoed 1,000 bridges, echoed 1,000 cures. Kamusta ka po? My name is Tony DelaRosa. I go by he, they pronouns, and I'm an anti-racist, anti-bias educator, organizer, activist, and cultural broker. Mabuhay. I first heard of Isang Bagsak in 2015 at the Teach for America 25th Anniversary Summit, in this room full of powerful Asian American, Pacific Islander, Native Hawaiian, Desi teacher leaders and administrators from across the nation. And I remember Kuya Justin Tandinga, and Kuya meaning big brother, led us in this cultural ritual chant to bring us together in solidarity from Larry Itliong, right? Isang Bagsak, right? Together, I felt that clap, and it lives in my body today. And from that moment, I wanted to share this gift from the Filipinx community as far and wide as possible. So that's why I take it upon myself, my responsibility as a cultural broker, to share this message with more people, right? But what is Isang Bagsak? If you heard my beginning poem, this labor movement love story to the 1965s, right? Delano grape strike, starting from Larry Itliong, right? A Filipino labor leader. It's not new to you as an organizer, but it starts off with him bringing the Filipinos and Mexicans together at the end of their boycott and their strikes each day to really end on a solidarity note. It starts off with a slow clap, and it increases, right? And then at the very end, you yell at the top of your lungs, Isang Bagsak, so it goes like this. Isang Bagsak! And everyone from that moment, right, makes a commitment to solidarity. But to me, Isang Bagsak is more than just a labor movement love story or tool or ancestral wisdom, piece of wisdom. It is a way of being, right? I feel like that we could use today, especially during COVID-19, and we can really focus on interconnectedness, as I was saying earlier. So I needed Isang Bagsak, right? I wish I had it back in the day in San Diego when I grew up and I went to the Boys and Girls Club, and I remember Jorge, Mexican American, who bullied me. He called me one time, I remember, stupid Puerto Rican ass chink for beating him in foosball. And what did I do? I caved in. And what did I also do? I told my parents not to bring me there again, right? Just because of that one moment. And I stopped going to this Boys and Girls Club because of that. And I wish I had Isang Bagsak during that moment when I went to Lebanon High School in Ohio, and I couldn't challenge any of my white friends who used the N-word so freely as if their relationship to freedom was akin to someone who was black. Or I wish I had Isang Bagsak during that moment when I was a teacher and I jumped in the classroom and my kids told me, hey, we're gonna be so good at math and science this year because we got an Asian and Mexican teacher. What did I do? I didn't even acknowledge that as a teachable moment, right? I just let that be. Or I wish I had Isang Bagsak during that moment. Fast forward to grad school, literally 2 years ago at Harvard, where I was at a party and me and my Asian American friends were dancing on the dance floor, and a colleague of color called us the model minority myth at a party out there. And I confronted him and said, yo, do you understand that the model minority myth, calling us that is triggering? And then he retorted with, yo, do you even know anything about critical race theory? And then I was all up in my feelings at that point, and I said, do you even know anything about critical race theory beyond the black and white binary? And from there, it was the point of no return, right? And Isang Bagsak needs more to break the myth or crush the myth. We must rip the script and write our stories of solidarity. Every story be a small instance, small act of resistance. Every time we reject the wedge, we close the gap in distance between you and I, us and them. And let Isang Bagsak be your commitment to cross-coalition, cross-solidarity. Let it be the clap back to white supremacy and capitalism, because it reminds us that we are part of a larger and global majority. And when our similarities fall together, one clap, one fall, we are able to move mountains forward.